Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Krisha Mete Mantonino. I am from Lisipet 2, and today we are going to talk about a real Supreme Court case that shows how something as simple as a Facebook post can turn into a criminal case. So this video is all about online libel under Republic Act number 10175, also known as the Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. So the case we will be discussing is GR number 256700, decided by the Supreme Court on April 25, 2023. So this case involves the people of the Philippines and Homerito S. Soliman. And the main issue here is not whether the accused was guilty, but whether the penalty imposed by the court was correct. Specifically, the question is whether online libel should automatically result in imprisonment or if a fine alone is allowed. So in this video, I'll walk you through what the case is all about, the important facts, the legal issues, the Supreme Court's ruling, and finally, the key lessons we can learn from this decision. So I'll keep everything simple and easy to understand. So stay until the end, and if you find this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So let us start with what the case is all about. This case is a petition for review on certiorari filed by the people of the Philippines against Homerito Soliman. Soliman was convicted of online libel under Section 4C4 of RA 10175 for posting defamatory statements on Facebook against a government official. So the trial court found him guilty because beyond a reasonable doubt. However, instead of sentencing him to imprisonment, the regional trial court of Quezon City imposed only a fine of 50,000 pesos. The prosecution was not satisfied with this penalty. They argued that under Section 6 of RA 10175, crimes committed through information and communications technology should be punished with a penalty of 1 degree higher than that provided under the revised penal code. Because of this, they claim that imprisonment should have been imposed, not just a fine. The case was elevated to the Court of Appeals, which upheld the decision of the RTC, and after that, the prosecutions brought case to the Supreme Court. So now let's move on to the facts of the case. So everything started on January 23, 2018 in Quezon City. Homerito Soliman posted a long and angry message on his personal Facebook account. So in the post, he accused Waldo R. Carpio. He is a he is an official of the Bureau of Plant Industry under the Department of Agriculture of deliberately delaying the release of his sanitary and phytosanitary import clearance or SPS permit, which was needed for rice shipments. So in his post, Suleiman directly named Carpio and accused him for corruption, favoritism, and abuse of authority. So he used strong and insulting language and even tagged several high-ranking government officials, including then President Rodrigo Duterte. And Soliman claimed that because of the delay, his shipments were affected and that he was being treated unfairly. So the post quickly gained attention, and because of this, Carpio filed a criminal complaint against him. So during the trial, Suleiman admitted that he posted the message while he was angry and frustrated. He later he later deleted the post and repeatedly apologized, especially after the Secretary of Agriculture intervened. Despite this, the court ruled that the statements were false, malicious, and damaging to Carpio's reputation, and as a result, Suleiman was found guilty of online libel. Suleiman did not appeal his conviction and immediately paid the 50,000 peso fine imposed by the court. But however, the people of the Philippines appealed the case and arguing that the penalty was too light and that the trial court committed grave abuse of discretion by not imposing imprisonment. This is what brought the case all the way to the Supreme Court. The main legal issues in the case was whether the regional trial court committed grave abuse of discretion when it imposed only a fine for online libel. Related to this were other questions, such as whether RA 10175 requires mandatory imprisonment, whether appealing the penalty violated the accused rights against double jeopardy, and whether courts may still apply administrative code circular number 082008, which encourages the imposition of fines instead of imprisonment in libel cases. In its decision, the Supreme Court denied the petition and affirmed the rulings of both the Court of Appeals and the Regional Trial Court. The court ruled that there was no grave abuse of discretion on the part of the trial court, and the Supreme Court first clarified that there was no violation of the right against double jeopardy. The petition filed by the prosecution was a petition for certiorari, which questions the jurisdiction or discretion of the court and not guilt of the accused. Therefore, it did not place Soliman in double jeopardy. Next, the court was explained that imprisonment is not mandatory in cases of online libel, while RA 10175 provides that the penalty shall be 1 degree higher. This increases applies to both imprisonment and fines. Under the revised penal codes, fines and imprisonments are alternative penalties. This means that courts are allowed to impose a fine alone, depending on the circumstances of the case. The Supreme Court also ruled that the fine imposed was within the proper legal range. For online libel, the fine may range from 40,000 pesos up to 1,500,000 pesos. So the 50,000 pesos fine imposed on Suleiman was clearly within the range. The court further held the court further held that Administrative Circular Number 082008 still applies to online libel cases. The circular allows judges to consider factors such as heat of passion, lack of criminal intent to seriously harm, immediate apology, and the absence of prior offenses. In this case, Saliman acted out of anger, deleted the post, and apologized, which justified a lighter penalty. Finally, the Supreme Court emphasized that implementing rules and regulations cannot override the law. Any conflicting provisions of the in the IRR of RA 10175 must give way to statute itself. Now, let's talk about the lessons we can learn from this case. First is this decision reminds us that social media is not a free zone. Posting defamatory statements online um, even in moments of anger, can lead to criminal liability. A second, it shows that courts are given discretion in imposing penalties. Judges are not required to automatically impose the harshest punishments, especially when circumstances call for leniency. Third, the case makes it clear that online libel does not always mean jail time. Courts may impose a fine instead as long as it is within the legal range and properly justified. Fourth, it shows how penalties are evolving with higher fines now being imposed to reflect modern realities and to deter online abuse. And lastly, this case highlights the balance that the law tries to achieve, protecting a person's reputation while still allowing room for fairness and rehabilitation. To wrap everything up, GR number 256700 is an important case because it clarifies that fines are a valid penalty for online libel under RA 10175 and that imprisonment is not always mandatory for this case. So it serves as a strong reminder to be careful what we post online and to always think before we click post. So again, if you enjoy this case breakdown, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Again, my name is Prijamete Mantonino. I am from Lisapet 2, and again, thank you for watching my video.